Welcome, listeners and viewers, to another episode of the Afro Gamer podcast. Today, we do have special guests, not just guests, this time guests in our midst. And I'll let them introduce themselves. So anyone can go for it.
Lady
Good
first.
evening, guys. My name is Oche Young Jollof, the Nigerian nerd Edache. I am a content producer, content creator for YouTube, and I am passionate about nerd culture in Nigeria and Africa as a whole. It's a pleasure to be here.
Nice intro. My name is Adeyemi Adesoya. What do I call myself now? Jack of many trades. I am enthusiastic about esports as it is. Very enthusiastic about sports, getting sports being done properly, being run as it should be. I'm a sportscaster during the day. I also run a sports development initiative as well.
All right,
Okay.
Shayola is my name.
Oh, sorry. Shall I continue?
Okay, thanks. Shayola is my name. Lawyer, sportspreneur. Um, yeah, sportscaster. Though I haven't done that in months now. Um, and of course, co-founder Lagos Esports Forum. Yeah, I'm passionate about sports generally, and if we're adopting esports as sport, then here we go. Thanks, guys.
Well, I'm Adobe. I embarrass myself on the internet sometimes. Okay, most of the times. I basically do live streaming. Apparently, I'm a content creator. That's like what they like to call the official term. And I occasionally remember to do my podcast, and sometimes I talk some sense, and sometimes I don't. Okay, most of the times I let's pretend I do, and that's what I do. I just make noise on the internet, and apparently some people find it entertaining.
Okay, thank you, everyone. The common thing with everyone here is content creation, and what has all brought us here together is esports. We are all Nigerians, so I guess we can start with the question: what exactly do you know about gaming and esports in Nigeria? Ladies first. I think I'll give that to Adeobi first.
Of course, you're going to give it to me first. Okay, sorry, because I know. Yes, I did a podcast last week where I was talking literally about esports, and a lot of things were said, and a lot of us discovered some things. And I know currently the situation in Nigeria is, for the lack of a better word, chaotic, because everybody sees the dollar signs and they're all seeing the blood in the sand and they just want to go in head first and they do not know what they're doing. Now, as for players themselves in Nigeria, yes, we have a lot of fantastic potential providers, content creators out there that do not know the goal that they have in their hands right now. But they are amazing players, but with Niger Wahala, with no sufficient internet and no sufficient power. But I know that there's a lot of grassroots associations out there. But at the same time, we don't seem to have a big centralized situation now that, like I just said, is more of chaos. And we're hoping that something comes out of it that is going to be, better. And hopefully, I hope that made a lick of sense.
Thank you, Ada. Shayo.
Yeah. Um, Esports gaming in Nigeria, I think, has not even scratched the surface. That's my own insights about it. I don't think we even know what direction we want to go. And that's because supposedly custodians of that bit probably didn't chart a course, probably didn't drop a strategy. Um I do a bit of sport marketing with all I do, and I know how you need to have a strategy in place before you will go chasing the money. So if you don't have a strategy, everything will look attractive to you, and that's exactly what we saw, and that's why it seems like there's a chaos, just like Adaobi mentioned. So it's all over the place right now. We need to bring it all together, or else everyone will run their race. Those who can get the prize will get it. Those who can't would actually sulk and probably look to do agriculture or something else. I'm sorry.
The Nigerian nerd.
Yes. Okay. So for me, I think I am the most ignorant person here with regards to all of this. I only started learning about all this, all the drama, as at last week when Adaobi had me on her podcast. I didn't know that there was any movement. I didn't know that there was anybody trying to get money, or I didn't know any of that. To me, it was non-existent. All we had were little pockets of people, the communities that I'm a part of, the video games that I play, League of Legends, Call of Duty, just the main games that you could get maybe 10 to 12 Nigerians on. Then all of you form your WhatsApp groups, and you guys now make plans for when you're going to play on Friday night. Back then, when I was active, by now all of us are playing, and we're playing till like 4 a.m. in the morning. And that was my own definition of what Nigerian gaming and esports was. I didn't know that there were any corporations or organizations, but apparently I was very ignorant. And now I am learning. Even now that I'm here, I have my notebook right beside me. I'm like, let guys start talking notes to find out. So yeah, that's my current situation with regards to all of this.
Okay. Adi,
All right, for me, well, like I tell you, fair, I'm learning every day about this industry, and it's fair and Shayo do a great job of opening my eyes day to day, on the possibilities and the opportunities in the industry. And like every aspect or area of life, Nigeria is, as usual, hugely blessed. Blessed with talented people as gamers, you know, blessed with talented people who can put things together. But as usual, the system, the country finds a way to frustrate them. So what we're trying to do here is, as much as possible, play a role to ensure that this doesn't also go the same way every other industry in the country has gone to.
thank you very much for that, Yemi. Um, I think let me throw this to Nigerian nerd. You said you didn't know XYZ existed. I believe there have been so many tournaments. No one mentioned a federation, an association, nothing.
Okay, with regards to tournaments, I knew of Niger Game Evo, but then
Okay.
I mentally associated Niger Game Evo with fighting games, specifically with regards to Street Fighter and Tekken, and those are mainly console entries. So, and for me, the mainstays with regards to esports, the biggest names in esports have to do with console gaming. A big part of why I ported most of my gaming to the PC, sorry, not console. A big part of why I transferred most of my gaming to PC was because on the PC there was just this reach that consoles and this penetration that consoles could not have. For one, consoles are already segmented. You're either an Xbox gamer, you're a PlayStation gamer, and then you're a Wii gamer. However, if you're a PC gamer, you are a PC gamer. Even if the game is on Mac and I'm on my Windows, we're still going to play against each other. So with regards to reach
Mhm.
and esports is so much larger on the computer. You have Counter-Strike Global Offensive, CSGO, you have League of Legends, you have Dota, you have all PUBG, you have Call of Duty, and all of this is on the PC. So for me, I kept all my focus on these PC games, and because our internet is so bad, because Nigerians don't, if you are buying computer, you are buying it for Microsoft Word, Excel. People are not buying end computers to come and play games. I always felt like this community was non-existent or lacking. So there are always really few guys, just very few. And many of them, some are in Lagos, some are in Port Harcourt, some are in Abuja here. And then we'll just find ways to just meet up on WhatsApp, make plans, and then we play. So I just associated the tournaments that we have. And even like many of the tournaments, if it's not fighting game, it's FIFA. And the FIFA is mainly played on PlayStation. So I just okay, esports is not, we're not there yet. We still need some so for the infrastructure to grow, then that we can start to have more and more people get in on different platforms. So that was my own take on it. I didn't know that we had any of this prior
Oh.
to.
Okay, so Yemi is laughing. Yemi, from what you've seen in terms of gaming and esports, and I keep saying gaming and esports because we do more of gaming than esports. So that's why
Yeah,
I'm generalizing it now. So from what
yeah.
you've seen and from what you know, looking at the industry in Nigeria, if even if you think it's non-existent, or some would say existent, how will you score the industry over 10?
Ah, that's a tough one. Um, if it were being real, I think I'll probably say 2/10. 2/10 because I am aware that so and so structure exists. Whether they exist in a bubble or they exist in reality or they exist in terms of the work that they are doing, I'll probably say 2/10. Why am I saying so? Up until I started gaming today, you know, I didn't know a lot of things. I probably only just play in my house. If I have money, I pay, online, and that was it. And then obviously with COVID and everything, a little bit of research opening my eyes to now see, oh, you mean this and this and this and this and this was going on? Of course, then made me see people like Docs and then other gamers that I've met in the period that I started doing gaming today. So I would say 2/10. And 2/10 also because really, is anything really happening? It's one thing to have events. It's another thing for the lives, the time, the livelihood and what have you of the participants at those events to have taken a bit of a turn, you know, whether pre, post, and during those events. So that's why I say 2/10.
Okay. Add that to you. What will you score from what you've seen?
When you were first asking about the score, honestly, I was, if not because my mic was on mute, I was laughing my ass off. I'm not going to even lie. And I can see why Yemi said two, because honestly, there's some people that have done some really good work that they've pushed ahead. They've really pushed out. They've been able to make something of the community. But at the same time, when you see the utter forgive, because I'm going to swear, I'm sorry, the utter bullshit that they have done in the whole governance of the thing, like the federal thing and the private company, it goes from me going like, oh, I want to give it 3-2 for other people that have done well to like I want to give like a -50 because of the the just because of the bullshit that they've done, just because of that whole we don't even started something yet and they're already trying to make it like this whole corruption filled mess of nonsense. But on an honest level, it'll be around 2-3, the same as Yemi said, because there's some people that have done really good. They have gone as far as they can for now, and are still not even going as far as they can. They're still pushing ahead. They're still pushing forward. But right now, honestly, first out, I just said -50 for the nonsense. But for those ones who've actually tried and have pushed, you can say three. For those, the few
Mm,
that have tried to push. But if we're saying in general, it'll be -50.
okay. Shayo, over to you.
Um, well, for me, I understand Ada, for example, trying to commend those who have done stuff. But the question we should ask is, to what end were those stuff? Um, I wanted to say something. I don't want to say it. If
Please say
whatever
it.
happened, no, actually, hear me and
Do
Ije
it, do it, do it.
probably know what I'm going to say.
Please,
For all it's worth,
that we all be
for all
honest
it's
here.
worth, no, seriously, for all it's worth, we've all put in a bit of time into some things while we were reading out our profile. I've done sportscasting for 10 years, since 2010, from radio to TV. If you mention my name within the industry, even though I don't do the regular wake up in the morning and go and do a show on radio anymore, like I said, I've not done that in months, my name will still resonate. So if we say we've done things, or if some people say they've done things in this esports space, and we can't, they can't actually be on top of the ladder at the moment, be indispensable, if we can put it like that, and I don't think it's worth rating. It's still very amateur. And for whatever happened at the federal level, like Ada is, and I know she sounded like she really, pitted whatever might have happened to who she felt should be there. Like I always tell the guys, Ifeyemi, you would not go into whatever negotiations they went into and expect that you'll be crowned. They'll just put the crown on your head. Because politics and the intricacies of politics will still always happen. Whether it's sports, whether it's finance, whether it's agriculture, whatever it is, as long as government is stepping into whatever it is you are about to do. They were not going to hand you the scepter and say, oh, you've been doing it for 20 years. Take, be in charge. Federal character was going to come to play. You can't put that away. It is Nigeria. If you understand those things, you would then decide not to dine with the devil and just hold your lane, build whatever you're building, and move on from there. So, if I were to rate, like Ada eventually said, though not for our own reason, I would rate it. We have not even started, so it's not even on the scale. It's on the minor side if it's a graph. Sincerely, it's on the minus side, the X side. It's not crossed over to the white side yet.
So, Ada, do you want to
Whatever
change
we
your
now do,
score?
No, I said no. I said
no, she has said
no. I already said my
minus
score. I remember I gave you two different scores. I said -50. Then I said 3. So granted, the average of that is still minus something.
I align with her minus, though maybe not. We may not share the same reason. She felt,
No, I don't. No, I don't feel. No, I don't. Because you. I don't feel
about
as the. I don't feel as the way you think that I'm saying, oh, this person has to get this or that person has to get this. I cannot say who's like the most qualified or whatnot, but I can say
yeah.
definitely the people that are currently there don't know what the fuck they're doing. So
Mhm.
they don't know what they're doing. I'm sorry, they don't know. They keep thinking of it as a business per se for money and not. They don't know how this structure works.
But the guys who should have been there, did they have a structure?
True, exactly.
We tell ourselves that. See, it was going into a battle, not even with a sword, not even with a UTC. I don't know if you guys are that street.
UTC.
Sorry, when I hear
They went
UTC,
with
I think Universal Time Coordinator. I don't think.
Wow,
Yeah.
you're such a white, you're such a white woman.
I've been in England. I have been in England for a very long freaking time. I queue now. But I don't. Nobody forces me to queue. I just start a
I'll
queue.
get,
If
I'll
nobody's
get
queuing.
your contact and send you the picture of a UTC. If if you hold that and someone holds a gun, the person should be afraid if you know how to wield it very well. They didn't even go with that. They went with a pocket knife to that battle where they were upstaged.
Guy, they went with spoon. With spoon. They went with a dull ass spoon. It was like
Oh wow! Oh wow!
Yeah.
Okay, so we're all content creators. I personally have noticed something. It's a misconception. Many gamers, when you speak to them, when they're talking about themselves or how they are involved in esports, the thing you hear the most is money. I want to win. I want to make money. If there's a tournament, even before you even post it, if they have a feeling, the next question is what is the cash prize?
Yeah.
And from my knowledge of esports, you actually have to be at a certain level to compete and win prizes.
Yeah.
You cannot even be below the amateur stage and be expecting to make money. It's gaming first, then esports, then you start to advance to things like university esports, then the proper club esports. But I think it's so much of a problem now that every single thing now is even the minister was selling it as, oh, it's a business to start making money. How? what structures what structures do you have? Are you starting every gamer or anyone who is into the business of esports into training what it really entails? And that is the misconception, because um we look at Ninja and we look at the host of others, and we look at teams and we see that, okay, Ninja is making, since 2016 till now, he has made 40 million. You don't know when this guy was grinding. You don't know how he became amateur to professional. And how many amateur gamers do we have? Talk more of professionals that were so money driven. There's nothing wrong in having cash prizes for tournaments, but when it now becomes the goal, then I think we're taking the wrong foot forward. I don't know what you guys think about this. Nigerian Ned, you're looking up like Yeah, sorry for the situation. What do you have to say about that?
Yeah. Yeah, I think the problem you've highlighted what the issue is. The issue is where our priorities are completely on their heads.
Yeah.
First things first is that as long as our infrastructure is what it is, there is no esports. All you're going to have are people renting plaza, renting hotel hall, and then borrowing TV, and then getting one or two PlayStations with their from their friends who come and put. Then everybody pays 10,000 naira. So if there are 10 contestants now, the winner gets 50K. You get 50K for putting everything together. You pay for the hall. You do. These are things that all of us have done. This is
Ada,
what
unmute your mic because I know you're laughing.
I'm unmuting my mic. Are you fine? Are you
That
happy
sounds like
now?
even me. Do you know the tournament? The tournament that Docs met me at. Docs flew from Lagos to Abuja
Docs is on the
to
chat, by
come.
the way.
Okay,
Yeah, we'll read
Docs
the
flew
comments. I
from
just want
Yeah.
the Nigerian net to
uh,
finish.
Oh, sorry,
Docs
continue.
flew from Lagos to Abuja to come and play for a tournament to win 100K. That was in 2016. That was when I met Docs the first time. And what were we doing? We me and my friends and I, the guy who started up who got the whole esports thing running in Abuja here, to the best of my knowledge, he was one of my best friends, and we partnered together to get the tournament together. We got a hall, we got banners printed, we got IVs printed, we put it on social media. We told people, okay, come and pay. I think it was 10K. Docs can clarify. I think it was 10K back then. You pay your 10K, you come, then the winner gets 100K. Second place gets 50K. Third place gets 20K. So at least if you came third place, you get times two of your 10K. That was the esports that we were running. That was our FIFA, and it was FIFA only, because we know that if you tell Nigerians to come and play CS:GO, or come and play something else, or PUBG, they will tell you that they don't sabi that on a football with a sabi. So and that was it until now. What is this? Almost 5 years later. All jokes aside, there are people that is what they understand. That when they think esports, that's what they think. And that's why your minister will come out and say that it's a business. If you put your money, you get your money back. Because he's looking at it like buying and selling of pepper in the market. They don't know that if you don't
I
invest,
don't want to choke.
if you don't invest in infrastructure, and when you say infrastructure, we mean steady power supply and high speed internet. If we don't have those two things, I'm sorry, this is the future. The future is people coming to play FIFA in one rented hall every weekend. That's what you have.
It's fair. There's one
Okay.
thing I want to counter from you. There's something you said when you were like saying that that we all seem to be concerned about the money, 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 money. I understand that if you're in an I'm hearing myself. Sorry. If you're in an amateur kind of situation, yes, you might be doing more for the clout, more for the more for the winning rights, the bragging rights. Sorry, but the problem is that on the higher level, and we should be honest with ourselves, with our people. If you leave some of our people, they'll try not to pay you any money. They'll try not to
Yeah.
give you. They'll try not to give any incentive whatsoever. They'll go, "Hey, come to our thing here. It doesn't matter how you get here. Just come here and get it. You will get it. You don't forget money. You win now. Just come. You will drag yourself from 2 states away to come and bring yourself here to do the whole thing for them for free, and they don't pay anything.
You make a valid point, Ada. Why is there,
I don't know what's up. I'm hearing myself now.
Oh wow.
I was
you're
on
back.
mute. That echo is back again.
Can you mute? Let's see if it works.
I was on mute when you said, "Let's see if it works."
Where
Okay.
is this coming from? Okay, this is my take. Nigeria spoke about infrastructure. Ironically, man, this is a bit.
Yeah, this
Could everybody mute their mic and try one at a time? Let's see what happens. Everybody just mute their mic. Yemi, try and talk.
Okay, all right. I think it's better now. All right. So interestingly, the session I was in before I came for this one, was about the power sector, and we're talking about infrastructure. So let me just tell you, the likelihood of that improving is almost it's like zero to none. So let's just live with what we have. Now, the problem here is that I get what Ife is saying by saying that we the thinking of all gamers is all about money, money, money. But the truth is, it's unfortunate that we haven't built the industry from the ground up the way it should have been built from the get go. Now, just like in regular sports, the idea is what? Money. Or if I play football and I sign for this team, my life will change. If I do blah, 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 there's a potential for my life to change. So that thinking has more or less been transplanted from regular sports, regular living to you know to esports or to gaming. Now, if we had a system where from secondary school level you'd been playing gaming or esports, and then you won prizes, and you know that okay, from playing from secondary school, you probably get a scholarship into university. That way, the industry is growing, is being built in an organic manner so far that you know that you've gone from secondary to university, and then you can become a professional. But what you have is us just going through the motions and just believing that look, the industry will fix itself. And then I'm like, okay, I paid 10K, I've made an investment of 10,000, I should be reaping 100,000 naira back in prize money when I win the event. But unfortunately, that approach is not sustainable and it won't grow the industry. That's why I have my issues with the guys in esports Nigeria when they tell you they have over 80 teams, over 100 teams. And then I ask, what are these teams doing? What kind of livelihood are these teams creating for their players or their team members? What was the process you used in registering these teams? Did they commit some form of capital? Is there a financial requirement or regulation for these guys to own teams or for these teams to be part of esports Nigeria? So we failed to build the foundation, and then we want to now start from the third floor. So I think that's where what we need to start changing now. Take it back to the grassroots, from the schools, from the regular game centers, and then grow it accordingly across board till we can then start having people like docs who are quote unquote professional gamers.
Okay, thank you very much. Hold that thought. Before I jump to Shayo, let me just read a few comments. So we don't have a backlog. Omonla said, bosses, I guess he's saying hello to everyone. Punchline. He said, good job, Bolaji Flow here. Thank you for joining us. He's a huge fan of Ada. He said Team Ada will be interesting.
Bolaji go and die. You know what that is.
Finyi said the sport minister said he's open to learning how esports work. Anyways, Doc said hello. The punchline, that's Bolaji again. He said, good job, makes sense. He is willing to learn. Real Ninja gamers know they all know next to nothing about esports. Bolaji, they are watching, they will come for you. He also said intelligent guys and girls on the panel. Oh, thank you very much. Good vibes. Let's see. Okay, he said Nigerian nerd is very educated and learned. Pretty impressive to see quality guys talk, not just chat. Okay. All right. People are throwing shots. Emmanuel, not Emmanuel, I'm sorry, Samuel. Thank you for joining us. He said everyone needs to be proactive. Punchline is also referring to what Yemi said. He said 100 teams in Nigeria. That is very, very laughable. He said maybe PUBG mobile teams. He said there is no single esport team in Nigeria. Don't let anyone lie to you. Those of us that have played on the world stage know I am Bolaji Flow Show. I go to Evo. Don't
Bolaji, calm
okay.
down. Bolaji, calm down.
This is not this is not about bragging, but I think he said something very, very interesting. And it just buttresses what Yemi said, and I'll throw it to Shayo, and Ada can also attack that question. Do you think the term teams, esport teams, do you think we have team? This is not about you just have a group of people that come together when they determine they play, but what esport teams means. Do you think Nigeria even has one?
Um, I'd say no. Um, and that's without disrespecting whatever the guys have done. And like I said initially, you may have done many things. If you say you have a team, we should put you on the same pedestal. And we're not saying you're probably matching what they've achieved or in terms of winnings and all that. We should put you on the pedestal with the likes of Astralis, Fnatic, Face Clan, Evil Geniuses, and all that. If you're not doing scratching the surface of what those guys have done, it's a big goof. Let's be sincere with ourselves. In aligning with what Yemi said earlier on, education was meant to be the first thing, even if the minister was going to set up a federation. And he has missed that boss. I don't know if there's a new schedule that's bringing it his way again. Maybe they can retrace their steps. If you don't educate, how do you build? If you don't educate, you don't do a bit of research and R&D. How do you know what foundation to put up on what you want to build? And that's the thing. So we don't have teams. Let's be sincere with ourselves. We just have like Nigeria didn't come here and say he has a team. He said me and my guys just come on WhatsApp.
Huh? Not the way.
Himself. No, he could have come here and say, "Oh, me and my guys, we have teams and we are doing this and doing that." Let's be sincere with ourselves. That's someone who understands the nomenclature. He should classify what they are doing. Don't overrate whatever you're doing. It's just a group of guys, a corporate brand attachment. Not to talk of sponsorship. Let's even just talk about brand attachment in any of the teams, 100 or 80 or 10, whatever number of teams we want to prune them down to. So I don't think we've scratched the surface in people calling themselves teams yet. Maybe they need to research, know what the guys out there are doing, then they can now start building that team. And over time, maybe we'll begin to have teams. But as it stands in Nigeria, I don't think so.
Look. I cannot definitely say that I do know, but I doubt it. I honestly doubt that there are teams. And when I'm saying teams, I'm not just talking like your fighting buddies or whatever. Because if you're doing Tekken or whatever, as long as you put in the many hours that you're supposed to do for your skills, then you can consider yourself a professional. You could, but nah. But for in sense of like for FPSs, for like Overwatch, for like Call of Duty, for like CS:GO, no, because these people don't seem to understand they're supposed to be training. They're supposed to actually do actual training, like they are going to walk, like you're going to read your book. You do your hours and hours and hours of training. You have your manager, or your coach, or whatever to do all that thing to just like normal athletes, just like normal footballers, like normal runners, they train. Can they honestly say that they're actually training on themselves right now? Can they really say they're doing that? Be honest with yourself, not just because you're sitting down in your house playing your game for like 6 million hours means that you're doing well. You can be playing legendary against the computer and still die a terrible death when you meet somebody in your first live online match and they beat you like 16-0 because your dumbass cannot defend properly. So it just goes. Let's be honest. Did they really have a team? Do they? Okay, like now. Okay, for example, like I was saying earlier with Overwatch. In Overwatch, they have different classes. Now, I don't follow Overwatch esports as I should, but I know Jonak. I know Jonak. I know Jonak is the best Zenyatta player ever. Zen as a support. That guy can Zenyatta let will kill you as Zenyatta. And he's a support. He will play Senyatta or he'll play Mercy. Then the other was this guy's name, one that plays Genji, I can't remember. But that guy plays support characters. He knows how to play support characters. He knows which support characters to choose. If they give him Hanamara, he will play that. If they give him Normani, he knows what to play. He knows which character to play, which character is best because he has learned the level design. Yes, I said level design. He's learned the actual level that he's about to play. He knows if that they're being flanked on the right. He knows where to go to on the left to do things. These people have learned the map. They've learned the dynamic, the mechanics of the game. This will be in my old places. One guy, if we had a hard game to test, we'll give it to Blake. Why? Because Blake can see patterns more than any other human being. If it's that level is unbeatable, Blake does not beat it, it's really unbeatable. It's an actual bug. But you see, he's trained in that area to see patterns. He's trained to see that. Can these people come out and say, hey, if they want to play Call of Duty now, just on those one of those nonsense, I don't know Call of Duty, sorry, I don't know the maps. Nuketown, that's what I can think of. They want to play there. Can they really play much? Do they have the skill? Do they actually know how to counter if somebody decides to, do they know what they're doing? I'll just ask that question. Do they know what they're doing? Can you honestly say you know what the fuck you're doing? Can you? Okay, I think I'll stop now.
Ife, your mic is mute.
Okay, so let me just show this in. I interviewed the CEO of Watchmen Esports in Kenya on the previous episode, and you guys can check it out. And he was saying something because I was asking him about team management, and he was like, you should have things in place such as there should be a contract binding. That's one. There should be a contract binding. In that contract, you should state, your practicing times, everything is not okay. It's Friday night. I don't feel like practicing, or you come up when I feel like, man, I just want to drink today, and I'm not practicing. And he gave an example that with his team, his team, they all have contracts, and when he checks up on them to say, oh, what are you guys doing today? They'll say, oh, we're practicing on this map, and we're trying another angle of our attack just in case our opponent has watched our videos and they've countered us. And he's like 6 hours after, he's checking up on them, just like, okay, are you guys okay? Do you guys need anything? They'll say, oh, they're practicing another map, or they're practicing taking another strategy. And when he said that, I had to ask myself, are the PUBG teams that we know, the PUBG people that came together, since we're not calling them teams, are they doing that? Is the Call of Duty mobile team, are they also doing that? And I think that is a huge Nigerian is shaking his head.
Of course, they're not doing that. I can't shake my head for anybody to see. Let's be frank.
If we were going to say they have a team, then that means we need every component that makes up a team, from the coach to the physio to the players to
the equipment that they need.
To the equipment, to the train, to their whatever they want to rent, a flat, a duplex, to their HQ where they get things done. Just like Ada said, you come in there and you're soaked in for the next few hours training and developing strategy. I was watching Fnatic how they prepare for their for a competition. The back end is crazy. It's like going to that big stage. Of course, they're going to the big stage anyways. It's like going to that big stage, and the backstage, they're all there discussing, the coach is giving tips, pointing out things and all that. Do we have these things? If we don't have it, why would we say it's a team? It's not possible.
Is they drinking buddies now? So your brother, where they go pub to? Abi bar.
Okay.
Sorry, I've been in England too much. I said pub instead of bar.
Nigerian net. Someone made a comment, and he was asking. He said, "What would be your checklist for you to call a group of people a team in Nigeria?"
Okay. For me, there are three things that need to be in play. The first one is the professionalism side of things. In other words, do we have binding contracts? Do we have equipment? In this case, equipment could be a gaming house. It could be 24 hours light and internet. But do we have things that help these people qualify themselves as professionals? That's one. Two, do you have talent? So when you say talent now, we mean skill, people who have invested time and have developed skill and then are now talented. It's the same thing with every sport in the world, from fighting to football to baseball. There's some level of time and repetition that you have to put into anything that you're doing to become good at it. Then some people now have some skill, something, hand-eye coordination, fast reflexes, good muscle composition, whatever. In esports, usually it's reflexes. So how quickly can you coordinate your eyes with your fingers while you're tapping your mouse? How quickly, in Street Fighter 4 back then, the people who were gods could do. So the average video game, sorry, I have to enter nerd mode a little bit for this particular one. The average video game in the 21st century runs at 60 frames per second. So in other words, for every second that passes, there are 60 frames that run. So in a game like Street Fighter 4 back then, there were things called one frame links. So what a one frame link was that in a frame of a second, you would find you would press your button at the exact time, the quickest possible time for an attack to come out. And you could do combos that the average human being could not do. Somebody like me now, I loved Street Fighter 4. I played it for the 5 years I was out, but I could never do one frame links consistently. But then there were people in Japan, for instance, Daigo, who would do one frame link 10 times. If he did it 10 times, it would come out 10 times. That one now, there's no way you can compare. I can't, even if I played that game 12 hours every day, Daigo would beat me. Simply because the talent that he possessed, coupled with the hours that he had put in, it wasn't there. So now I've said two things: professionalism. Second thing, talent. How are you sourcing your players? I had Dr. Sid on my show last week, and one of the questions I asked him was the people that play on his streams, the people who are on the teams that he has playing for cash prizes and whatnot. How does he find them? And it's a really important question because as much as we're excited for the growth of this industry in Nigeria, if the talent is not there, there's no industry, because we're not operating in a bubble. If we have people that are playing Overwatch, for instance, in Nigeria, our goal overall is for them to go out of the country and represent us in the world tournament that is happening for Overwatch worldwide. But if it's still, we'll say, Abi Lagos, everybody in Lekki comes together every Sunday, and then all of us will play. We'll now connect our computers and now start playing Overwatch. Whoever wins, other person don't win 5K today. That,
That's
that
like
is
that nerd Overwatch.
thank you. And like, it's meaningless. What have you accomplished? Nothing. So
True.
for me, it's those two things. So it's professionalism, it's talent. Then the third thing is environment. How conducive is your environment for the skill that you are trying to, for the industry that you're trying to grow? In Nigeria, I think everybody knows the environment is not conducive. In fact, all these problems we're facing, the environment now is not just the physical environment. It's the public sector, it's the private sector, it's the mindset of the individuals, it's the availability of lights, availability of water, of internet. So, and our environment is lacking. So for me, it's those three things: it's professionalism, it's talent, and its environment. If you have those three things, you can create a team anywhere in the world.
Thank you for that, Nigerian Ned. Let me just read a few comments, then I'll throw more questions out. Um, sorry. Okay. So Gigi Arena said there should be proper guidelines on how to build a team and let serious gamers put it to test. We'll come back to that, and Yemi would address that. Um, Navi TV said Nigeria is one of Africa's representatives to the Western world. So I am glad you are having this talk. I know things are looking a bit off, though I'm confident we can shape things up. Okay, so Punchline said we already have FIFA guys, fighting game guys, COD, racing, etc., all scattered around WhatsApp and Telegram groups. The players exist with average skill set, but a proper structured organization will help. Um, let's see. I'm trying to get more. Okay. Okay. So let's. Where is this? Okay. Gigi said, thanks, Nigerian Net. Those qualities are active, but the sponsorship is hard to get because gaming isn't developed in their area. So this question goes to Yemi. Yemi, with everything Ned has said, can anyone mute their mic? I think there's an echo coming in again. Okay, so with Yemi, this question is for you. For everything, the Nigerian Net has said, Adaobi has said, Shai has said about teams. all the checklists, because of the environment, some of them are not going to be possible as of now. So in our own way, and there's always this clap back. They will tell you, you can't copy what the Western world is doing and do it. You can't copy and paste it. So in terms of Nigeria, Africa, what should be the minimum checklist to build a team or to have an ecosystem of gamers?
If I always say one thing: you either go big or you go home. This industry is too big for us to be acting like we're selling pepper or tomato. Right? If you're serious about developing the industry, then you need to get serious players to come in. And what am I talking about serious players? I'm saying you want to join just like a regular football. And that is one of the reasons that sports are regular football, because they refuse to follow the rules they lay down from the get-go. So if we're saying, all right, Mr. Man, you want to start an esports team, you should have a minimum of X number of players. They should have minimum of X number of times, to practice their games. You should pay them a minimum sum of XYZ as salaries. You should have a minimum of XY amount of money deposited with the federation or the association or whatever as your financial commitment to the industry. Now, what that means is that you need to structure the organization, your team, to have coach, physio, nutritionist, social media, digital marketing, commercial marketing, finance, everything. Everything needs to be set up from the get-go. So if I want to go into that industry and I see that, yes, the entry barrier is high, I will respect myself now and play the grassroots where I know that I don't need to bother myself. Like Nigerian Net said, pay 10,000, win 100,000. You continue to do that. But if you want to play at that level, you need to set, guidelines. And such guidelines involve financial commitment. And in that financial commitment, you set out a roadmap of 5 years. And you're telling them, look, you have to get from point A to point Z in a 5-year period. And those things, certain things should be done. One of such things is ensuring that the team is commercially viable. You get corporate sponsorship. You participate in X number of competitions, whether locally or internationally. You sign 2-year contracts, 3 years contract with your players. You are provided XYZ kinds of trainings for your players. All these things, you have to set regulations. Those regulations have to be followed. The entry barrier needs to be high if we are serious about doing this thing. So we can, just the way in football you have Division 1, Division 2, Division 3, you can create all the cadres. So if you want to play with the big leagues, this is how much it's going to cost you. You want to play grassroots between 10,000 for 100,000. It is imperative that that is done before we can talk of actually having pro players. So that way, the man playing in Okokomaiko has something to look forward to. So the guy playing against Okokomaiko says, yes, in 2 years, in 3 years, I want to be signed by a team that is in Lekki. And he knows he has to work his way up. So he knows the pathway, he needs to go through to get to that point. So the man that has also invested in the man in Okokomaiko knows that, okay, there's a path for me to follow before I get to the guys who are in Division 1. These are some of the conversations that need to be had. These are some of the regulations that need to be put in place before I even start talking about having this team, that team. Those things are imperative for us to drive the conversation and drive the initiatives. So people can talk about infrastructure, internet. There's really very little we can do in that regard without structure. It is when we have structure, we can sit with these guys, the telcos. If you tell the telcos that, do you realize that, okay, let me give an example. You tell one telco and tell them, do you realize that you have 10,000 Nigerians that play FIFA on your network? Of course, any telco that hears that kind of numbers will sit up and be like, wow. Then you can now start talking of creating a gaming bundle. So these are some of the things that need to be put in place. These are some of the conversations that we need to have to set things on the right path.
Thank you very much for that. Okay, Ada, go ahead.
And I think there's something, because I think what people don't understand sometimes with esports and whatnot is, at the end of the day, just because it has E in front of it, it still has sports at the end of it. It's still almost the same thing you do for sports. You have you have your football academies. You're gonna have your esports academy if you want for FIFA, for CS:GO, for games that highly competitive games that will forever be there. We all know CS:GO is going to be there regardless of whatever MOBA comes out. We know CS:GO is still going to be there. If Overwatch is still doing the way they're doing, I think Overwatch is considered the fastest growing esports thing of all time right now because of, let's be frank, the game's not 5 years old yet, and it's been able to have this big command on the esports purse. So you can still just think of it. I think we need to, when we go into all these old dogs that don't understand these new tricks, we need to remind them that it's similar to the old tricks that they know. It's more or less the same thing, just that you're doing on a virtual level. You're not physically going out there to go and punch somebody's lights out or kick the football. You're doing it virtually, just like you train physically to learn how to play. To learn how to play a sport, to learn how to run faster, to learn how to hold your breath and control your oxygen levels. You train the same way, but in video games, you train like just like you said, that one frame thing. If you've seen some videos of some Asian, some Japanese and Korean players on PC, because they actually have the camera on their keyboard and mouse, and you see the way their fingers are moving, and at some points you can't even see shit anymore because it just looks like a blur. Do you know how much hours that man put in to get to that level of crazy? Just like a surgeon has to, go to school, do all those years, cut all the bodies, do all this thing to be able to, target things with pinpoint precision. If you want to be like the best virtual footballer out there, you have to train. So I think we need to tell these old people that, look, just because it has E in front of it, it's still like your normal sports. It's still like your normal sports. They still have to train, they still have to do all this thing. And like you said, all the other things that everybody has said, at the end of the day, you need to treat it like an actual sport. Not just, yes, it's a money-making machine, but you still have to train those people to make that money for you. You still have to train that monkey to dance well.
Yeah, but if we were going to use that as a comparison, before Shayo talk, the sports industry itself in Nigeria is really nothing to write home about. Aside football, which is a hit or miss. Badminton F9, swimming F9,
basketball.
Basketball they are trying now.
C minus.
Yeah, so
they are not trying again, though. All over the place.
Basketball is not trying.
For 2 years now.
Basketball.
I haven't watched it, but to be honest,
2 years.
Oh, sorry,
league. That's after Quincy dropped $12 million for a 4-year deal. So
we see Nigeria.
If we were to go with that's
but no, think about the Shire this way. Think about it, Shire. One thing. Okay. No, just think of this one thing. Why is it that every time we'll be third, fourth, fifth, sixth, whatever, the second our man migrates to the other country, which was, I can't remember, this Nigerian sprinter that went to Portugal. This man used to be chopping fourth and fifth anyhow. The second he migrated to... Thank you. When he went to Portugal, no be first and second, first. Why? Why was it different?
Even the guy that went to Toronto, I didn't expect it. He's fast for North America. Yeah.
Exactly. So remember, at the end of the day, what happened is that the infrastructure, you could say the whole training, he was getting the right training. He's not the one that is going to go to the national stadium, whatever. Or let us do this thing. The machine no day. This one happen. I don't fucking know what is happening. But they obviously, that's the thing. They already had the talent, but they did not have the not even just only the infrastructure. They didn't have the way to be able to use their talents to the fullest potential. They were running on 60% in Nigeria. But the second they go to Portugal, not even Portugal, even any other country, Trinidad and Tobago.
There's a lady that went to Bahrain and she ran the third fastest time in the 400 meters in history.
So you see, that's the problem.
She's not very proud of, but that just tells you.
See all that? See all that? All those things that are missing in our thing that's making us run at 60%. And once we get somewhere else, that gives us the full potential. Like even England, they say they want to remove all the immigrants. The second they know you can run, all of a sudden you're Mo Farah running for them. They waste time to give you citizenship. The second they know you can, his twin brother was still in their country, and if he was so you understand. At the end, they have the facilities. The second you go to a place that has the facilities that can cater to make you bring out your fullest potential, you come out to be this horse, this workhorse, this stallion, stop being this goat at the corner that they were leaving you there. So at the end, because that thing is still it still matters. It's unfortunate that our country people are just so corrupt too much that they never think about the country. They think about whoever's standing in front of them at the time or
Mm.
about themselves. So, but no, just think about why is it that the second someone leaves the country and does the same thing they were doing in Nigeria and do it elsewhere, they are now a whole lot better. They look like a whole
But
new human being.
the same thing applies in education too. I know people who were third D, second class lower people here, they get to the US and England and they're making distinction on first
I
class.
hate to point this out. Come on, even our maths is maths we do here is more difficult than the maths they do there. I'm going to tell you now, for someone who came for my A levels, they were teaching me things that I had learnt in SS1 during my A levels, and I remember there's one question I answered. The woman told me the chemical does not exist. I just sat down and said, okay, you people were not doing organic chemistry.
Okay, so let me read a few comments, then we'll jump to content creation. We're almost out of time. So Doc said the truth is in Nigeria, most people are looking for income first, and that's the truth. Navi Esports said our coach for our Call of Duty team is a Kenyan, and he's a few steps away from setting up a team up to hit the Call of Duty League Challenger Series in the United States. So surely, let's go, guys. So Navi TV is, is the friend to the house. He's pushing esports in Uganda, and he's doing a few things. Let me see if there are other comments. Okay, so I'll fly to Punchline. He said, interesting discussion. Meanwhile, let's open a Telegram group and gather all Nigerian gamers. Then the team formations can start there. Else, it will be all talk, no action, like we always do in Niger. Let me just jump in. As a gamer, you should have no business with WhatsApp, Telegram, or what have you. The official gaming platform for chats
Discord.
is Discord.
Discord, please.
Discord.
I
So
like
if
how
you are
everybody was on the same page with that one.
yes, so if you are serious
I just
about
learned something new. Though I'm
if
not
you
a
are
gamer.
if you are serious about it, you should be on Discord. You shouldn't be giving excuses like because it's not a popular app, I'm not going to use it. Discord, you can break down different channels. Okay, COD gamers, content creators, PUBG, everyone knows their channel, and they can go there and discuss. So that should be the beginning part when you start the whole education of esports or gaming in Nigeria. You should introduce them to Discord. That is where everything should go down, not let's create WhatsApp group. WhatsApp group should be for fun. Okay, we're a community, we're just going to talk rubbish there. But when you're talking about serious gaming and esports, it should be Discord. So for everyone watching, if you do not agree, I don't know what to tell you. If you don't agree, take it up with Adaobi. I think she'll be able to she'll be able to tackle you better with that. So
Oh, no,
let's
I
move
beg.
to
Discord is highly useful. It's way, way useful because, like you said, you can make different groups. You can have different chats in different sections. The people that want to go to this one, you do that one. There's some Discords I'm on. Because I'm on many like European ones. The kind of levels at which they do the thing, I just sit down and go, I don't understand what's happening, but okay, I
okay,
get what you're
yeah.
doing.
So I attended a few weeks back. I attended the Dubai Gaming Conference, and the question the organizer asked me was, "How come we don't know anything about gaming and esports in Africa?" And it affected me as a Nigerian, and that was because we don't tell stories, we don't create adequate content, and all of us here are content creators in one way or the other. So Shayo, let me throw this to you. Content creation doesn't have to lock to esports. Even just gaming, you should be creating content for people to see. Do you think there's a disconnect as to why they are not creating content? Because I understand there's the issue of light, there's the issue of internet, but once again, the excuse the my clap back to statements like that is on your PS, on your Xbox, on your PC. you can actually record your gameplay, and later on, even if you don't know how to edit, you can always just upload it when you have data. You stream data, you
Yeah.
use data on social media platforms, so you should be able to upload gameplay to, your social media platform. So, part of the education, what do you think we are not creating content?
Well, I think people don't see value in it. Just like you pointed out, people just feel like I'm playing by myself, and I think I fall into that category too. I just play. I've been playing. I still play today. I had a meeting earlier on. I was done with the meeting. I was playing with my brother, and we've been talking about, oh, we should be recording these things and putting it out there, because content is content. It might just interest somebody. You might just even score a goal you can't capture again. That will be interesting to see, or unlock something on FIFA from scoring a goal. I remember scoring one funny goal, and they said I unlocked something with Messi. I didn't know what I did, but I can't capture that moment again because it's gone. So content is content, and like you pointed out, because I was going to say, people now think major content is if you stream live. No, it can actually be something pre-recorded, and you just post it out there and write a story around it. Very good copy with it, goes with it, and you're doing a fantastic job. um there's a Portuguese company, Replay or Reply, I don't know, REPLAI. Two guys, they got an investment. What they do is take your content, put it on their platform. If it hits, they get generates income from sponsorship and ad placement, and they sort you out. Those guys got a seed funding of $1.24 million just last week. Not
Nigerian
last
nerd, time to time to
not
upgrade. Oh, we need
they don't
to
do
push the
they don't do
content.
they don't do they don't do live content. It's
Yeah.
pre-recorded, so you can they can take from everybody, anybody. You send it to them, they put it on their platform. They're Portuguese guys, so it doesn't have to be live stream. It actually can be pre-recorded. Put your nice, like I said, copy around it, put it out there, and just keep pushing and pushing. If people see that there can be value from it, which there is, I'm telling you there is now, then they'll go ahead and actually push content and create content.
All right.
On
Thank you for that. I think Nigerian Net has to jump on this one because, when you talk about content creation for gaming, I think
Mhm.
he's one of the people you can always use as a reference. He would give you a gameplay. It could be a retro game you grew up playing, and
Yeah.
he'll tell a story from it. And you guys can check him out. The Nigerian Net, very very informative and educated. So
What's your full
what will
name,
you?
Jolly? What's your full name, Nigerian name?
My full name is Oche Charles Edache. The Nigerian nerd is just the name for the brand.
Oh, Jollof Rice, I say, I don't call you.
Young Joe.
He said, look, he first said it in his first this thing, intro, and said Young Jollof, and that's what I remembered every
Uh,
time.
Yeah, so Nigerian Ned, your
yeah.
take on the whole content creation.
Um, I won't lie. I won't lie to you. I don't have it figured out. I believe we should create quality content. I believe the content should rival. I follow, as I'm talking to you now, there's YouTube in front. My nightly ritual since I decided to take this thing seriously is that for the last 1 hour before I sleep very early, 9:30. But so from 8:30 till 9:30, I'm simply just watching content creators from the US and the UK. And I'm not watching it for entertainment purposes. I'm watching because I'm seeing their editing techniques, I'm seeing the topics that they're covering, I'm seeing their approaches to use of social media, and I just internalize it. Then I use that to promote my own content. So as of now, the channel has 19 videos on it. God willing, every month I try to upload at least 2 or 3 videos. I have a 9 to 5, and I have a very busy life, so I can't keep up with the kind of volume that these guys do. But I'll still get back to what I said earlier. I don't have it figured out because I don't have views. I think the video on my channel that has the most views has 1,200 views, and that even 1,200, I messed around with a lot of marketing websites, YouTube marketing sites. So I even paid money to get that 1,200. In reality, the best video on my channel is the first video I ever did, and that was on the history of gaming in Nigeria, and that has 600 and something views. So for me, I just create quality content because I'm proud of it. I don't want my name to be associated with anything that isn't great. So I won't put out anything that is subpar. But Is it gaining traction? No. Is it going to get me money anytime soon? And by anytime soon, I mean in the next 5 years? No. Is it something that will miraculously change my life one day? Maybe, by the grace of God. But in all honesty, from where I'm standing right now, all I have is quality content and nothing else. So and that's why I can understand why people are not attracted to it. They'll rather play the games. But the thing is that if you don't create content, nobody knows what you're doing. Content is what lets people know that, oh, there's this happening. There's this community. But people would rather play the games because at least if you win, you get 100K for the 10K. So, my brother, just being honest, just being real, there's no real traction for it here. I'm just doing it because I'm proud. So,
Ada, you are
I knew you were going to call me on this one.
yeah, your YouTube channel, you've uploaded Nigerian videos that they haven't.
Okay. Let me explain
So
my YouTube to everybody else. I've had my YouTube channel since 2006. I think YouTube came out 2005 or so. I had it a long time ago. I had it when Google did not even have YouTube. And and from mine, I think when I first started doing it, when I had the channels, I noticed that if you notice that my highest videos are like my Femi critic videos. And I noticed that a lot of people were trying to watch the video for Bang 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 and True Don't Die. They were trying to watch those. No, not True Don't Die. I don't have video. They were trying to watch the video. I noticed people were trying to watch it, but they couldn't find it. So I found the video and put it on YouTube. I did that with a couple of other songs. I had one taken down a while ago because I actually beat the record label by 2 years before they made their own YouTube account. So anytime they search Jill Scott Cross My Mind, my video will come up on YouTube. So they struck me down.
oh, wow.
But then I think after a couple of years, it was a few years ago, I became partner because I had grandmothered my way, as I call it, because I had enough. I had over 1 million views by that time. So I passed the 100,000 threshold they put that time, and I got the thing. Didn't really make any money, just like Young Jollof said, because sometimes you can put all the content you want to put in there, but there are other bigger people out there that can beat you to it. But the thing is that although I'm not saying I put quality content, no, I don't. I don't put anywhere near as quality as the Nigerian Nerd does, because now the Nigerian Nerd has content I enjoy, which is video essays. He does well thought, well edited, well researched video essays that he puts out there, and that is my bread and butter. If you look at almost all my subscriptions, it's mostly video essays with video games and movies. But for me, later on, when I decided to start taking this thing not seriously but semi-seriously, was because my brother wanted to watch me play Overwatch, so I played it. And if you see my very first gaming video, you will see that I had the comments because I used to use PS4 and all that stuff. And I know my issue was that my schedule, I don't have a schedule. I really don't have a schedule. And there were times I was really doing really well, I was actually getting some views live. And every time they found me funny, but they'd come back next week and they don't see me, then I keep losing people and losing people. But okay, in my own area now, the only tits and bits I can give for you guys right now is, that there are actually websites you can get gaming review keys. I'm going to give you two. There's terminals.io and there's terminals.io and there's keymailer.co. Those two, especially Keymailer, you can get way too many review keys, more than you like. If you know the amount of times I get indie games that I do not want to play, that they'll just throw it at you and you go play. And now that I have a PC, they keep throwing more shit at me. But the things that you can talk to companies. I decided to try my luck with CD Projekt Red because I noticed everybody was having Cyberpunk 2077. I was like, I want to be on your streamer list too. I went to their website, I went to their contact details, I found their content creator website email, and I sent them a message, and they responded to me back. And that's how I knew. Was it Megarom? Megarom in South Africa is the company that caters for streamers to Southern Africa and Nigeria and Ghana and a couple of other countries. Yes. And how did I find out? I sent them an email and gave them I remember reading like and you know what? You guys need to either go to Reddit, there's Reddit podcasters, there's Reddit YouTubers, there's so much information you can find. And one of the ways that I've noticed with a lot of people during this coronavirus situation on Twitch, because I've been trying to stream more on my Twitch and to bring it up a bit, but it's not really going as fast as I like. I noticed a lot of people, they all ended up becoming affiliated so quickly because they joined so many Discord groups. They joined so many Discord groups, chatted with other Twitch streamers, join their groups, they start helping each other out, they do raids. Before you know it, within a week they are affiliated and they have you're like, oh wow. They make it look so easy, but it's not really that easy. Remember, that's not the norm. That's not the norm. The norm is you can be grinding for 6 years of your life and get pennies. All the years when I was actually a partner, I got 25 quid. I didn't even get the money before they removed my partner status because it didn't reach 60. So,
Wow.
but you see that? You can see, and I was obviously not earning any money for the music videos because they didn't belong to me. And like I know, as someone who's actually I've gone to the YouTube, as in Google headquarters in London, because with my 1,000, apparently I get perks if I want to use them. But you discover later when they tell you make good thumbnails, right? Catchy titles. If you've ever noticed, haven't you noticed all the titles nowadays? Uh, Tall girl reacts to short film or something like that. They write titles that the algorithm can catch and make popular. Although with the YouTube algorithm right now, if you're a YouTuber, I'm going to tell you now, it's going to be fucking difficult to get money. You need grace, you need God, you need luck, or you need like Miss Techie. I know it was an Irelander who I remember when she started actually, and now she's actually a decent. She's the biggest YouTuber now, and she's able to get money and sponsorship because the whole thing is that what you have to do for yourself, you have to try and build yourself. Because if you can build yourself on your social media, on your everything, I know some of my videos that were making traction at the time lost traction during the apocalypse because Google goes, oh, my video is not ad friendly. You just told me I can play a violent video game, but you just told me I cannot play the violent video game because it's violent. But you told me I could play it. There was some silly things that were happening, and of course, by the time we all lost it, if YouTube's not making money from you, they don't care. Oh, I will type out the thing later. Yeah, no problem. The things that at the end of the day, you have to keep grinding. You have to grind. If you can collaborate. Keep making good content. You can try and trick the algorithm and start making some questionable content, but would you be happy with yourself? Okay, maybe you'd be happy if you had hundreds of thousands of pounds, but that's relative. The thing is that at the end of the day, you just have to keep continue what you're doing. If you make a good enough name for yourself, remember, you don't need always the views. If you go to the right sponsor and they see they like your content and they believe what they are doing and they can do something for you, they can also advertise you. They can also market yourself. But at the same time, if you're going in for money, better know that the money is not going to come out immediately. And if you really want that money, you have to work. Some people stop doing their 9 to 5. They do this full time to get this thing, to get to that level, because you need to know that. Because like I know what my issues are. I'm lazy. I cannot be asked to do stuff half the time. And then I do stuff. I'm like, oh, that's fun, but I forget my stuff. But I know where my weaknesses are. I know where my strengths are. If I want to actually work on my weaknesses, I can. Like for me, I do a combination of live streams. I do a combination of I've not done some walkthroughs in a while, and I really do need to do my reviews at some point. But I know I used to do walkthroughs. I know I did for Horizon Zero Dawn, and in Horizon Zero Dawn, I remember there was one of the comments that made me really happy was there was one particular because I have the Haunted Lodge videos up there, except the first one. And there's one video, the person goes, and they were thanking me simply because they said they've been trying to do this thing for weeks. And my video showed them how to do it in 3 seconds. I was like, oh, thank you. It's like, yeah, I did something good for somebody. But I provided that. And sometimes if I want to do walkthroughs, usually walkthroughs work if you get the game early. Like say if you're going to get a review code, which I'm not going to get for a big one, so I have to do a pre-order. If you can get the game early and be the first to put it out. Now, I don't play The Last of Us 2, but I can't imagine trying to put out The Last of Us 2 and I have Angry Joe putting out The Last of Us 2. I have Jim Sterling talk about The Last of Us 2. I have, what's his name? Crap, I can't remember his name. I'm sorry. I have all these big YouTubers bring out, I know I'm not going to get a piece of the pie. I know I'm not going to get it. I'm too tiny. But now, if I advertise to my local people, to my Nigerians, because a lot of these people on here, they know. Oh, I see. So I just saw. Get out, Atiku. I just noticed who was there. Go away. These people, they know me from Nairaland. They know from me from Nairaland, or they knew me from the WhatsApp groups I joined because of Nairaland. And I put out a video, and they go, "Okay, Adobe's doing this thing now. Okay, let's." But yes, they'll sit down and watch. The ones that have good data can watch me on Twitch. Even the ones that don't, they'll watch me on YouTube. They sit down there. We converse, we smile. I'm happy with my 2, 3, 4 people that are coming. I know I might get more people after the video has been put, and I know some of you cheeky bastards will go and download illegally and not give me any views whatsoever. But I already have my own community. Could I expand on my community? Sure. If I'm giving them a proper timetable or what to do, fine. But sorry if I'm rambling, but at the end of the day, you just have to know you are going to be pouring your heart and soul out. The people that have asked me for links, I will try to put the links up. I'm on my PC, so I should be able to do this soon. And if you're ever in doubt, go to any single company you think of, go to their contact details, and I kid you not, go to contact details, go to press. Yes, you are considered press as a YouTuber. The day I discovered that because I had 1,000 subs, they consider me as press. I can go in and say I'm press and go and try and get stuff. But remember, they're all levels for because some companies they don't mind having smaller groups to oh, sorry. I'm calling the names. I cannot talk. I can't talk Nigerian. Bolaji, if I want to talk Nigerian, which one are you people doing? You people will tell me I should bring my money first. Then you will not come and tell me talk Nigerian. So I'm talking global for you because that global can still help you get those things you need in the first place anyway to start to help use. But at the end of the day, you just have to be consistent. You have to make I want to say you have to make good content, but to be honest, you don't really necessarily have to make good content. Everybody remembers Linda Keji now. Have you all forgotten what her blog used to look like before?
Mm,
With the free
no,
blogspot.com.
those
People went there
embarrassing. Yeah.
because of the information she was giving, the information she was giving at the end. So they weren't even concerned about that the blog did not look pretty. They all just wanted to hear gist. Now the blog looks a bit more, it looks prettier than used to look before. So sometimes you can still do good. Yes, it's preferable to do content. You can do shitty content. There's a lot of shitty content that makes numbers on YouTube. But if you want to say you want to try and play the YouTube algorithm, then you're. Eh. But all you can do right now is make the best content you enjoy. Make content you enjoy. Don't make content for that. Make content you enjoy. Because there's no point. At one point, even if you're making the money, if you're making content you do not enjoy, there's no point in it. You will not feel it. You will not feel that happy. You will not feel it. So make content you enjoy. Engage with your audience. Always engage with your audience. And you don't need to do live videos. You really do not. You can do. In fact, you don't even need to do edited. You people have seen my videos. I don't even edit. You know, I don't edit at all. If I do record, I'll record, and you people at least start talking because all of you said you wanted to hear me talk to explain stuff with commentary. Then I do that because you don't need to do a live video. You don't need to be playing Call of Duty all the time. You people already know I cannot shoot for shit. You people know I cannot aim. You know that. But you can play interesting games that can bring in your audience. Some of you know that I play some weird ass games. If I decide to show you, I start playing the weird game. If it's too much for people, you say you don't like it, I change, or I might not change depending on how I'm feeling that day. But just be able to just give consistent content. Make sure you have a schedule. Stick to that schedule. If anything goes wrong with the schedule or whatever, inform your audience because look, there are people that are out there who actually want to listen to you. They do. They are there. Even if it's only one person, that one person wants to hear what you're saying. Like if the Nigerian does not bring a video in within 2 months, you know for a fact I'll start asking you on Twitter, what are you doing?
Mm,
I was
that's
asking
true.
you, what are you
That's
doing?
true.
I was because I want to see it, and once I see it, I'm like, yeah, he's up, he's up. I'll go on WhatsApp. I was like, yeah, I said at one point I thought I was your official PR person. Your videos. So I hope I've not rambled too much, but you just have to be consistent and do what you enjoy because forget unless somebody's going to want to say they'll pay you 1 million naira or whatever you want to do, then okay, you might open your ass small and do what you might not enjoy. But if you're doing that, remember at the end of the day, just remember yourself because you have to be consistent because like Nigerian look, eventually that thing can hit. And if you know what you can, and with the way this whole global village thing is, you don't know who you can meet or you can talk to on the internet. I know because of the podcast I did last week, someone said I should go and talk to the Minister of Youth and Sports. I said, are you high? I want to talk to this person. But you know what? But that's the thing. You can always talk to who's the worst they can say is no. This is always the thing I always remind myself at the end of the day. You can talk to anybody. The worst they can tell you is no. The worst thing they could do, the only bad is the severity of the no. That's how bad it is. You can always still talk to these people. And if you show them the content you have, remember, even if you don't have anybody watching your content, but if you have good content and you show them this is what you do, this is what you can provide, this is this is who I am. I am here and my content is the shit. So what's up? Maybe do it with less gusto. But I mean, you just have to have that because I am not, I'm going to be honest with myself. I don't see my content as the best thing. I believe, yes, I have funny moments and whatnot, but I know my strengths lie with me just talking and being an absolute idiot for like 10 minutes or more. But at the end of the day, because I keep repeating the same thing because it's still the same thing, is consistency. Do what you enjoy and build your brand. The more when you build your brand yourself, remember you don't always need to start looking for someone to help you. You can go and help yourself by looking. You can go and help yourself by finding the HR department. Yes, I said HR department. HR, it might be HR department or PR department or marketing department, whichever one. If you're not sure, go and Google it and look at the meeting and pick which one. Whether you talk to them through LinkedIn, whether you talk to them through Facebook, whether you talk to them through Twitter, you can use all these facts. At the end of the day, I'm going to embarrass myself and talk to the Minister of Youth and Sports at some point. I don't know how I'm going to do it, but I will do it. But you show them this is what you have, because if you can show them and they can see what you have is tangible, you can do fantastic things with it. So you can remember, you can still keep building, and you can show them this is what I've built in this short period of time. This is what I've built now. Yes, because even if you just had 30 subscribers coming, you were like, oh my god, I got 30 subscribers is not be busy.
Now,
It's not.
trust me, 30 subscribers is a lot.
Okay,
It's a
okay.
lot.
So yeah, I'm going to stop rambling. I hope it made
Yeah,
some
thank
sense. I'm
you,
sorry if it was
thank
repetitive
you,
or whatnot.
thank you, Ada. That was a huge sermon. Offering time.
Yeah, blessing time.
Okay, I'll put the links of the two sites I was talking about to some of you guys
I've
and
Yeah,
some
already. I
other
just
ones.
I registered on one while you were talking.
Good boy, good
yeah.
boy.
Okay, so let me
Mm.
just read through a few comments. Stephen Moses said, I have a different view to Adeyemi's view. In Nigeria, broadband is only good in Lagos and probably Abuja. Why will an investor put money into something like esports that he can't see good financials? Um, work,
Can I,
Punchline said,
can I respond to that?
yes, you can. Go ahead.
Okay, so I said that if, for instance, you approach any telco and you show him or her numbers. If you say, for instance, Nine Mobile, you say you have 10,000 gamers that play FIFA on Nine Mobile at any one time. I'm sure that in itself will make them think and be like, oh, you mean there's actually a market that plays the games on our network consistently? That will make them think. Let's forget the fact that whether it doesn't work well in some areas. We're talking generally here. If the numbers are right, these guys will make investments in that direction.
Yemi was able to clear that out. We're running out of time, so let me just read a few comments now. Punchline said, in my opinion, streaming and content creation is a joke in Nigeria. Let's actually play game first and get monthly competitions running. That's the starting point, in my own opinion. He also said, Discord is successful in USA and Europe, doesn't mean it will be successful in Nigeria. The operating environment is different. The average Niger gamer is sitting comfortably on WhatsApp and not Discord. Oh, that is it. I really don't know what to say to you about that. But WhatsApp is not going to help any gamer. Trust me about that. If you want to collaborate, if you want, it's like you as a gamer. Let's just say an example. You're a gamer. Your gameplays are lovely. You reach out, like Ada said, you reach out to someone on LinkedIn, or you reach out to someone. What's it called? You reach out to Sony, or you reach out to this. You can't tell them, let's chat on WhatsApp. They'll definitely look at you like, what? So yeah, that is something Nigerian gamers have to unlearn and relearn. WhatsApp is not the gaming application for chat and anything. People have conversations on Discord. Game teams, esports teams have their channel. They're not on WhatsApp. You can't say, for example, we're team Nigeria shooters, and you not be saying, okay, all our followers come to WhatsApp. Are you? Does WhatsApp take 5,000 gamers? Will it take 5,000 fans? No. So I disagree with you on that. Let's just round up with this question, and anyone can go at it. We've identified what we think we are. We've given our scorecard. What is the way forward in terms of gaming and esports in Nigeria, content creation? What do we have to do first? And everyone can take turns to attack that question.
So I'll start.
Okay, yeah, please start.
Sorry, Nigerian, and sorry.
No. Feel free.
Um, like I said, education is key. I'll make reference to the Lagos Esports Forum. and we basically highlighted our objectives to be education, engagement, and empowerment. And if you look at the trajectory, when you educate, everybody knows what slice of the pie they'll be picking. Because even as we're here now, we just talked about 1% of the value proposition or the value chain of esports. There are so many other things. So many other things. You may not actually succeed as a gamer, but succeed at something else. Maybe as a shoutcaster or something else. So that's another thing people need to understand. So many of us growing up wanted to play football. We didn't end up playing football, but I talked football, made good money from it, still making, hopefully, true. But you know, there is so education is key. When we are done with education, which is a continuous process in itself, when you build it to a certain level, you can then engage. Engage will be okay, let's start setting up the team, let's start playing competitions, okay, let's talk to stakeholders, okay, let's seek affiliations and all that. Okay, where are the investors, venture capitalists and all that. Then that leads you or fits into the empowerment. So if there's anything we need to do with our esports, I'm not saying follow our own objectives, but I just feel that trajectory, if we follow it that way, esports in Nigeria would actually move to the next level rather than us just having people playing and playing and playing. Then what next? What else? People don't even know. We don't even do enough research to know what's happening in other climes. Before the whole COVID and all that, Dubai hosts tournaments in the malls steady, and people win money. Is that something you consider you can travel to go and do? You weigh the options. Look at it. That's where strategy comes in. You wait and say, okay, if we invest, how much is a flight to Dubai? Less than 250K return. If we invest and take two people there, what would they win? Okay, hotel spending and movement and feeding. What would they win? These are the possibilities. Those are things you would put on the table, and you say, okay, as a team, we're going in there to do this, and you publicize it. And let me also add, and this is very important, for everything that has been done in esports for the last few years, neglecting the media, the sporting media, was a major goof. If you're gathering two people and you feel it is something that needs media hype, media promotions, and you haven't done it, then you are only winking in the dark. And that's why esports is in the state it is at this moment, whether with the guys who started out and the way I see the guys who may be taking the reign of so-called governance of esports in Nigeria. If you keep neglecting the media mileage you can get, that won't even help you when you go out and say you want to seek sponsorship. That won't help you when talking about the international uh, um, partners you probably can attract. So those are key things that people need to actually work. We need to work on ourselves before we even come out and say, oh, I'm all suited up and I'm ready for this. When we get that right, then we'll be able to move.
Okay, thank you for that. The Nigerian nerd.
Yeah. Okay. For me, I would say that, okay, first of all, we need to define in broad terms what it means to be a professional. When I say professional, I mean it's in terms of esports. And so, like now, what is a team? What is an esports team? What stops me from waking up tomorrow morning and just deciding that I have an esports team with five different people? There's no track record. Nobody knows how many tournaments people have played. Nobody knows their gamer tags. You can just wake up tomorrow and just decide that you have a team. So the reason why I feel we need to define what a team is, we need to have guidelines, literal guidelines that you register your team, you specify whatever it is that your players have done, their track record, their wins, their losses. You put everything there. It's so that we can develop some form of amateur league, not even professional, just amateur, so that there's a proving ground for people to come and show their skill and their talent. The good thing is that if you have talent and you have skill, then numbers will naturally grow over time. And if numbers grow, then you can make a case to whoever it is. Because at the end of the day, numbers are what determine money is a numbers game. If you can prove to me that 1,000 people will buy a product and I didn't know that this was previously possible, I will definitely invest in you. So if we have amateur leagues, You have mini leagues in Lagos, Abuja, Port Harcourt, Benin, wherever. People that play FIFA, people that play Street Fighter, they have their local tournaments, and then they now have the amateur scene for the country, and then it builds up from there. You can now start making cases to the telcos and say, look, oh, we need subsidized gaming packages for XY people, because these are the numbers that we generate. We have people tuning in to watch this particular guy play. Last finals that he played, we had how many thousand viewers on Twitch. I just feel we need to start from the ground up. I don't look at it like we should have professional gamers from the start. Let's create an institution, something that people can pass through and grow with time. You can look at this person and say, in 2016, he played versus Oche Edache in the finals in Lagos. And you can even pull up the video and show that, look at what he did back then. Now, this guy has been playing for a while. Then you can now say, okay, now let's make this guy a professional. It's a model. I'm not saying this because I'm smart. It's a model that even, for instance, fighters, boxing, you have the amateur league that the boxers fight in. And a boxer can have 150 amateur fights before he gets one pro fight. Many of those amateur fights, he's not paid for them. But the good thing is that when he does step on the pro stage, he's battle tested and he's ready. And he has a track record that people can refer to. Let's start treating it more than just me and my friends play in my mother's sitting room every Sunday afternoon. Let's start treating it like something that has a future and people can grow through. That's mine, an amateur league, and let's define what teams are.
Yeah.
Yemi, I think Yemi should go because I want Ada to attack one question they threw in the chat.
Thank you.
Yeah, I think I'll let Yemi go for this because it has to do with Discord. That's why.
All right. Shayo has spoken well, the Nigerian as well. And I agree with everything that they've said. Structure is important, education is important, empowerment is important, and most importantly, it's also important to grow the process. The process involves taking it to the to the grassroots, to the lowest of the lows. Why am I saying so? One of the mistakes the guys running the scene today has made is they somewhat think that the gaming industry is an elitist industry. For me, I do not agree that it is. I do believe that there are guys in the nooks and crannies of Lagos, in Shomolu, in Bariga, in Oshodi, in Okoko, that play these games and they play well. But the problem is they don't have the opportunity to come to limelight, to be seen by everybody. We need to create that conveyor belt that allows those talents be able to make good use of their talent, be able to probably provide a livelihood for themselves, for their talent, for them to pass through that conveyor belt and eventually become professional. We also need to take it to the schools, secondary school, university, then create all those cadres that can eventually, after we commission those cadres and we pass through, test them adequately, we can then start talking about the professional scene where people have, if you're talking about like the Nigerian mentioned boxers, most professional boxers, one of the first things you hear when they try to introduce them is that he's an Olympian. He has a gold medal in the Olympics, a silver medalist in the Olympics. There are very few that make it to the professional stage without an amateur background, going to the Olympics, Commonwealth Games, and what have you. And I think that model is what we need to, adopt. I remember having a meeting with the Nigeria sports people, and one of the suggestions I was making to them is us having something like a draft day for gamers. So when we finally get over the madness that we're in and start commissioning team, how do so-called esports teams get their players? A draft is one of such ways, So we need to put the conveyor belt in place that the structure will work in line with. That's my take.
Yemi, thank you very much for that. Ada, there's a comment here about about Discord. Before you give your closing remarks about what next, they are not agreeing that Discord is the way
Oh,
forward.
no,
That
Bolaji is not agreeing that Discord is the way forward. I'm reading it.
yes, and I think um, Uzoma started that conversation that you can't just dump Discord on Nigerian gamers because one, it's not, it's not part of our, in quotes, lifestyle in terms
I'm
of
sorry,
communication.
just to remind people, WhatsApp was not part of your lifestyle either in communication. You made it part of your lifestyle. It was not part of your lifestyle until WhatsApp decided to become free. Then everybody now started using it. So just like then, when you were all using your text, because I know even for Skype was not people's lifestyle at all. I used to be like the only Nigerian that had Skype. I said, oh, people come and use, nobody started using. Then WhatsApp happened, and Viber and BBM, they were not part of your lifestyle, so you made them part of your lifestyle. So change your lifestyle. Because right now, I'm in WhatsApp groups. Yes, I am in WhatsApp groups. I'm in WhatsApp group with you, Bolaji Self. I'm WhatsApp group with a lot of you now in there. But let's be frank, half the time is everybody talking games. I know there was one WhatsApp group I was on that I had to leave because I think that they barely talked about games. And in fact, there was one. I'm not even going to start my life as a woman in these things, but they don't talk. No, but if you're on Discord, you in Discord there are areas, the things that because people don't try to use it. Anytime any of the black spaces in my Discord are all the Nigerian based ones because nobody using them, including my own, because me, I'm still trying to learn how to use my own, but I'm trying to make it there. The thing with Discord, unlike WhatsApp, you cannot separate groups. You cannot go in sections in WhatsApp to say you want to talk about this thing in particular. We're all sitting down in the same melting pot talking about stuff. Then I will now talk about okay, this game, or half the time people know that so I just start randomly talking and people ignore me. But if you're on the Discord, you can go to the section and go, this is for the fighting section. In that fighting section, you can make a subsection and go, this is for the tournament section. In that subsection, you can make a voice chat to go only go in when we're having a tournament. You can even put permissions of who to go in, whatever, unless they have things in. There are so many things you can do that you cannot do with WhatsApp that you can do with Discord. So I hate to point it out, just like you said, it's not your way of life. WhatsApp was not your way of life 10 years ago till you made it your way of life. Go and learn. Because unfortunately, whether you like it or not, Discord is the way to go. Because on your because now that I do my thing on my PC, if I'm doing anything on my PC, I do the chats through Discord. If I want to join Miracles when he's doing his Twitch live streams, I just jump into his Discord. I have permission to jump into his Discord chat during his live streams, and I can chat. I cannot do that on WhatsApp. I have to go. He has to go get his phone and go and put earphones underneath his headphones to do all that to do the conversation. But we're just chatting. In fact, a lot of consumers have been complaining that there's no Discord on PlayStation and Xbox. I don't know about Xbox, but I know for PlayStation. And without that being there, that makes it a whole lot difficult. But before PlayStation expanded to 16 players for party, it used to be 8. In fact, it used to be 6. I think there was 8, and now it's 16. And anytime I had to do boosting groups with people on Overwatch or when I want to play with boosting, we had to get like 12 people. We only had 8, so we had to use Discord. And I used to have to use my earphones underneath my Discord, my headphones, to be able to use Discord because there was no Discord on PS4. So Discord Discord, unfortunately for you, has been made specifically for gamers. It's been made for gamers. That's it. It's made to work for gamers
Another
and do that thing.
another thing about Discord, right? If you're playing a game and you have Discord on, Discord can overlay on the game sound so that if you are trying, maybe like before League of Legends didn't have in-game chat. So if you wanted to chat with your teammates and coordinate, you had to have Discord on. It would now overlay itself on top of the game's audio. Then you and everybody who's playing that particular match on your team can now coordinate as long as they had Discord as well. Nothing else offers you that kind of flexibility. Nothing.
Exactly.
It's built to make gaming easy.
Exactly. That's it. And if you're gaming on PC, it's doing a whole lot better because it's not on the consoles. But so you think, just like you said yourself, that is not your way of life. It was WhatsApp was not your way of life before. You can change your way of life. Just like you're not doing the same things you used to do 10 years ago, you learned and did something better. So go and learn.
Okay. So closing remarks, Ada, for what next?
Yes, we did. Okay, what next? We definitely need we need a proper grassroots situation. As I said, situation. We need that, just like Yemi said, that conveyor belt. You start from the amateur, and even sorry, a young Jollofer is always every time my head goes there. The same thing. Oh, they all said you have to start from somewhere. you're growing. And like I said before, whether we have to even have esports academies or something for different things if you want, that we can do. Because at the end of the day, if the government is not going to do what you can do for yourself and bring it out to somebody else. Shay, you know what spec when he said that one that he was all the company was listing the companies that he has been able to get things with and that he's currently in talks with now. And because when they ask him, because they would definitely ask him who, what numbers do you get? They will ask him for those his analytics. They'll ask for those things and he shows them those things. And if he shows to them that he's proven time and time again that he can do this, then they're willing to do stuff with him. So at this rate, because all of us now we're almost all doing single player mode in this thing now. So we have to grow from somewhere. We have to show them. We have to keep growing. As we're growing, we will be getting accolades. Hopefully, and you're able to. If you fail on something, you learn how to do it. You get better. You do it, and at the end of the day, you yourself can carry yourself and go somewhere else to apply your trade. And if you're fortunate enough, it works. If not, you learn and move on.
You learn. All right. Thank you very much for that. So everyone, in 1 minute, there has been a question thrown at everyone that, all this is grammar that we're blowing and, it's time for action. So, let's use this opportunity to, let our viewers and listeners know what is our contribution. So it's not like, okay, we're just talking. What are you doing? It's a way to say what your contribution is to the potential industry and how they can connect with you. So I will allow everyone, it's an opportunity to even market yourself. Like, okay, this is what yeah. So Shayo Olabi, I'm giving you the mantle to start with this one. What's your contribution to the industry?
Why you my contribution, like I said, comes with the objectives of the Lagos Esports Forum. We're not here to regulate. We just want to educate, engage, and empower. Interestingly, we just set up a gamers relations committee sort of um, earlier today during our meeting, and I'm sure the guys in charge can come up with a program or something which would work. That's on one side. On the other side, we're in talks with a few partners on the possibility of actually, like Yemi pointed out, getting these things to schools. Esports, schools esports is even big on the international scene, and we believe that that's a platform to start out. Let's be sincere with ourselves. I can't go pro even when if I wish at this stage. But I can blend some very, very talented young chaps and lead them to battles on whatever game and lead them to some fantastic sporting competitions on FIFA or NBA 2K. So that is the direction for me. Let's actually help some people either diversify, or for those who haven't chosen a career at all, which are the young ones, which we're talking about too, actually know that there's something else standing there. And that's why we're all distraught with the fact that the mess in sports is coming into sports, because with that, we may not even be able to, get that kind of value we expect we'll be getting from it. So, all in all, that is it. Educate, engage, and empower. And with that, we believe that we'll be churning out the best of talents that will become world beaters in the coming years.
Okay. Thank you very much for that. Yemi,
Well, my team.
1 minute, please. 1 minute.
Okay. My plan is not any different from Shayo's. As being a member of the Lagos Esports Forum, education is very critical. Building structures is very, very important. And in building structures is having a cohesive approach towards media, marketing, education, R&D, um, players and gamers relations. So we will be doing a lot of things in that direction. We will be having activities in that direction, games, competitions in all spheres. For me, I look at the sector as being divided into three: mobile gaming, console gaming, and PC gaming. So we will be working towards having situations, competitions, engagements, activations across the respective subsectors to ensure that activities and funding can come into this industry, and then people can start building their lives around a working industry.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much for that. The Nigerian nerd.
Okay, mine is very simple. I run a YouTube channel called the Nigerian Nerd. We post out new videos every week, and we focus on everything with regards to nerd culture, but we're heavily biased towards gaming. So the videos that we produce are mini documentaries, video essays, reviews, previews, games to look out for the month, esports news, everything really. I script, I soundtrack, I do the lighting and production for every episode. And it's a small channel. We only have 257 subscribers, but I can assure you that if you're in Nigeria and you're interested in anything with regards to gaming,
Oh, that's
esports,
plenty.
or uh, yeah, on top of, so just sign in, go on our YouTube channel, and you'll see all we've done. You'll see comments of people that have benefited, and you'll see where we're going.
Okay, thank you for that. Ada, 1 minute, please.
Well, I have a YouTube channel as well, which is basically ACO 420. I mostly do live streams nowadays. Occasionally, I do some walkthroughs and some pre-recorded stuff with commentaries of my gameplay. I'm always open to collaborating with people, and my ability of talking too much has also helped in my ability to write too much. So I tend to embarrass myself with some big companies. Sometimes it works, sometimes it does not. And I do have a side hustle, but right now I cannot say it's side hustle because it's still a side hustle. But if everything works, I might be more into the esports stuff even as well. But all I can say
Amen.
is that amen. All I can say is that look, I can help contribute for stuff with collaborate with you, and maybe shout at you to go get the shit done on time. That's the best you get from me.
Okay, thank you very much for that. Me personally, I'm the Afro Gamer. We report esports, gaming, and esports news, and we create content. And we have our website. So if you're looking for news, if you know what's happening in different gaming communities, you can always check out our website, afrogamer.com. We have this podcast that comes out, every week. So you can either watch or you can listen, and we always have interesting conversations that people can catch up to. And anyone who is watching or listening, I believe everyone on this panel is very, very approachable. You can always find us out on Twitter, most especially. You can send us a message. We're not going to give you 48 hours to respond. We'll most likely respond if we're busy at that time before the day ends. I don't think anyone here is on a high horse that will be asking you, how did you get, or how did everyone will respond. So we're willing to collaborate with anyone. I'm open. If you have news content that you want us to put out, we're just one click away. Go to Twitter, reach out to us. We'll have a conversation and we'll put it out. So, with that said, I would like to thank everyone for watching, everyone for tuning in, and for those who will listen to the podcast afterwards. Thank you for your support and so on. Let me also use this opportunity to let our viewers know and our panelists. The Lagos Esports Forum, in collaboration with the Afro Gamer, is hosting a mobile game tournament. This is not PUBG, this is not Call of Duty. The target is for awareness. So we're focusing on casual gamers. So we have tournaments in Ludo King on your mobile phone, we have on Niger Watts, and we have on 8 Ball Pool. If you want more information on that, go to theafrogamer.com, the event section. You will see that tournament there. Go ahead and register. We know people like money, so they're going to be cash prizes. They're also going to be gift prizes. So, allow your mobile skills come out. And, with that, once again, Shayo, Adaobi, the Nigerian Ned, and Adiyemi, thank you very much for, taking time out to speak with us, because I know you could have been doing a lot in this time frame. But thank you very, very much. And to our viewers and listeners, thank you
I've
and
been
God
watching
bless.
Netflix.
All right. Nice one, bro.
All right, guys. Good night.
Good night,
All
people.
right.